Greetings, my name is Sturdin and I talk about the lore and history of various things I like. So, Alice. Now, I generally don't like to make videos about characters we haven't seen in-game yet, but I thought I'd make an exception today in this case, because A, she's someone we both know fuck all about and a lot more than most others of her quote-unquote type. B, she's the most amazing living being to ever grace Tevat with her presence. And C, this is my show and I make the rules, so what are you gonna do? Got that? Alright, so let's not waste any more time and jump right into the chaotic mess of a character that is Alice. Today is gonna be interesting. So about 19 quadrillion years ago, Alice was born somewhere. The first concrete, in massive quotation marks, event we can nail down is a little over 500 years ago, when she met this friendly and innocent Kandrian alchemist known as Reindottir, also known as Gold, first daughter of Tungsten and descendant of the clan of Big Iron. The two apparently hit it off pretty well until about 500 years or so ago, our good pal Reindottir may or may not have accidentally opened a portal to hell, and let all the secret fun stuff run rampant on Tevat, which, you know, happens to the best of us. After all the evil monsters from hell had gotten their crap kicked in by God, Alice would continue traveling around the world, which is also where the shenanigans begin, since she at some point traveled to Inazuma and not only took the piss out of Yae Miko, of all people, whom she referred to as Little Yae, but also tried several times to catch everyone's favorite friendly feline Neko using all sorts of technological gadgets and devices, failing every time and repeatedly being told off by the local shrine maiden. She also at some point joined the Hexen Circle, a sort of cool kids magic club for witches, and even met a very handsome gentleman, with the two becoming very closely acquainted in the following years, which eventually resulted in the birth of Klee about 7 or 8 years ago. After Klee was born, the pair would stay in one Stadt for a while to raise her, until eventually setting off on their travels once again about 3 or so years ago, leaving Klee in the capable hands of the Knights of Favonius and her semi-adopted son Albedo, whom was practically left on her doorstep with a note by her old acquaintance Gold, though Mama Alice does make sure to check in fairly regularly. And that's basically all we have in the way of a backstory. Now, you might be thinking, but Turadin, you incredibly attractive dwarf, that doesn't at all sound that chaotic. That just sounds really bare bones. And to that I say, you're right. I am indeed very attractive. And also don't worry, we're getting to it. Oh boy, are we getting to it. For you see, Alice is far more than just an elf with a penchant for arcane fuckery. She also knows a thing or two about engineering, alchemy, and, you know, our world. Yes, you heard that right. Alice has actual knowledge of our world, Earth. She actually managed to get her hands on an idol magazine from real life, and she tried to form her own idol group with members from all over Tevat. It's the reason why Barbara is the way she is, and she even tried to recruit Ayaka but was refused like 6 times, which is probably why she canned the project altogether. And don't think for even a second that that's the end of the madness. Oh no. I got a full list of all her achievements and crazy schemes, and reading it feels like I've just ingested a crapload of dodgy crack bought from a goblin. Storm Terrace Lair actually used to look pretty intact, until Alice decided to visit and thought these ruins didn't look nearly as ruiny enough, so she blew a big chunk of them sky high. The Golden Apple Archipelago? She turned the place into a summertime resort as a present for Klee. Proper best mom material there. I know of a certain person who could learn a thing or two. She once almost blew Kujo-Sara's left wing clean off when she was conducting experiments in the imperial kitchens of Tenchukaku. Almost blew up parts of Inazuma City when the universe had the terrible misfortune of her befriending Yoimiya. And even modified the Mikage furnace for giggles, which let's not talk about the implications there. She has canonically done shrooms, is one of the few people in Tevat to know that sex exists, tried to make nitroglycerin in the kitchens of Wangshu Inn, is a business partner and supplier of Dory, traveled together with Zhongli and might be aware of his and Fenty's true identities, scared several people shitless by making them believe that their camera stole their souls as a prank, made a flying machine and strapped a hilichurl to it to test its effectiveness, it only flew as far as Springfield before crashing horribly, tweaked Amber's Baron Bunny into an upgraded explosive known as Dodoko, invented the more and more after a botched cooking competition, wanted to make a giant hilichurl hamster wheel to generate electricity, tried to make a boat out of giant seashells and almost drowned like 3 times, almost leveled a mountain, tried to cure a Liyue soldier from his stutter but accidentally made him repeat everything people say around him with a scary amount of accuracy. She wrote the Tevat travel guide, thinks Zhao is a weirdo, which he is, tried to control a ruin guard by strapping a hilichurl to it, the hilichurl died horribly, got several shogunate soldiers sent after her, and even invented an actual telephone in Tevat. What? And I only made some of those up. If you can figure out which is which, then I don't know, you'll get a cookie of the highest craftorship or something. But I think my point is clear. Alice is a bloody force of nature who perfectly embodies the concept of
so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Whenever she gets an idea in that wonderful head of hers, she goes for it full stop, no matter how silly it might seem or if it's even plausible in the first place. Her moral compass? Dubious. Her powers? Imagine Bone Daddy Eins, but with zero shits to give. Her outlook on life? Enjoying every bloody second of it. Because despite her constant shenanigans, and I can guarantee you, this isn't even the end of it, because we still have like 3 nations and 4 issues of the Tevat travel guide to go, she is not a bad person. I mean, she basically adopted Albedo and immediately treated him like her own son, and even tried to comfort Diluc after his dad got nay-nayed. Whenever she sees someone in trouble, she can't help but try to assist them, even if her methods and the results can be a bit unpredictable. She might be over 1,000 years old, yet she isn't all dramatic and philosophical about it. If anything, she's put her time to good use by just living her own life to the fullest. She has seen things that make most gods crap themselves sideways, and she just shrugs and laughs it off. She doesn't just embody physical or magical strength, but also the emotional and mental kind as well. She has the powers of a god, but still very much the heart of a human, which I'm all here for. I think that's very commendable and respectable, that even after living so long, you can still have a place for other people in your heart. But I would still recommend watching out with her, because she has been recently helping with some renovations to the hold, and